This video is a rant and gets pretty aggressive. If you don't want to see that, get out of here. Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and if things don't change sometime soon, I don't think I'm going to play Trials of Osiris anymore. And I know a lot of people feel this as well. Trials of Osiris is not fun in a lot of situations against a lot of, certain players and on certain maps. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the balance issues and things like that. Number one is the game is slow as hell. This is the slowest game mode in Destiny because people refuse to play aggressively, they refuse to push, they refuse to get into gunfights if it isn't a sniper headshot as they're hard scoping a lane. If you look at a map like this, the team that's outside, for the most part, sits outside in the sun and will hard scope lanes. They will continually do that until the timer goes, and then they'll try to push in with maybe a couple people that are shotgunning, or they'll just push in with their primaries or supers or whatever it might be. You end up getting games that are 20 minutes long because every single round takes the full 2 minutes to complete, and then maybe another 10 or 15 seconds after the overtime timer starts up. You get these long, boring-ass, slow games that, even though you're on the inside and you have the advantage, technically the team that's inside should have the advantage. They have control of the point, they have the angles where they're up top on the stairs, they have the height advantage. They should win more games than they lose. But you get bored as fuck, and you want to peek, and you get picked off by those guys that are hard scoping and haven't moved the entire game, and then you lose the round. And that's your fault, because you shouldn't be pushing out. If you're in the inside spawn on a map like this, you should be holding inside and don't even consider looking outside, because you're at a disadvantage when you look outside to the hard scopes and the head glitches and the sun outside. So, if you don't push, you don't be aggressive, then you're bored as hell, and you're inside. But you have that advantage, and you can hopefully win the game. If you do push outside because you are bored and you don't want to just fucking sit there like the other players, then you're at a disadvantage. So you get slow gameplay because no one wants to push, no one wants to be at disadvantage, and it's just dry. It just isn't fun. And then there's the issue of revives. Revives have actually already been nerfed. I advocated to get revives nerfed. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I did it, and I'm going to claim it because I'm happy, because they're actually better now than they were. Before, you could have Crest of Alpha Lupi and sprint through someone's body holding down X and get a revive. That's not healthy. That isn't okay. People were getting 2 shields in the middle of a gunfight because all they had to do was kind of inch over to their body quickly, hold down square for a millisecond, and they would get a revive. And guess what? It's still an issue. Because revives stop, rewarding gunfights. If there is a body slightly around a corner and you're by yourself in a 1v1 situation, but their body is around the corner, you either have to push them instantly at a disadvantage because they have you're pushing into them. You're always at a disadvantage when you're pushing them, but also they have a revive right there. So if you don't stop them before the revive, you lose. And the reason why is because of immunity frames. So if I'm playing and I've got a last word with 8 shots in the magazine and I'm trying to shoot someone, and I'm trying to kill them, and then they get the revive, they're going to get a shield. So I have to waste more bullets on them to kill that first person, and now I have nothing in my primary. I have no bullets left in my primary weapon, so I have to snipe the other guy. And if I miss that snipe on the other guy who's running towards me, he now has a shield against me 1v1. I just had a 1v1 situation turn into a 1v2 situation where they both got shields, and one of the guys had immunity frames. How the fuck is that okay? I'm sorry if I'm raging, but how is it okay to have immunity frames? I can't even use a grenade to completely shut it down. If you're getting revived, if you're being brought into the game to give your team an advantage, why are you immune to damage? I should be able to throw a lightning grenade around the corner, kill both of them, and don't even have to worry about this trade of shields in this gunfight. All I should have to do is say, you know what, if you're going to stand still reviving, here's a grenade or here's a super, and I'm going to kill you. But now you have this dance of, okay, well, I have to either snipe the guy off the revive or focus on him or use a super, but I have to wait until the immunity frames are done, and it becomes so much more complicated than it needs to be. I know I might be hammering this into your head saying, revives are broken, but sometimes I feel like I'm the only person that notices this. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person that complains about revives still, because games are being won and lost on revives, not on gun skill, and it's fucked up. Honestly, I don't understand why it's a thing. So if you agree with me, if you think revives are stupid or broken, please let me know. Am I the only guy? Am I the only person that feels this, or do you guys agree? I want to know. Now, the next big thing I want to talk about is rotating spawns. A lot of people complain that they want rotating spawns because there will be less of this hard scoping bullshit because you can't always do the exact same tactic every round. You have to change it up. And if one side is a little bit more advantageous, maybe even like on Twilight Gap, the one spawn is definitely a little bit stronger than the other. If you rotate it, then it's going to be a more balanced game. And I do agree that I think rotation should happen. But I also I think that the capture point needs to move. Not to the same places every round. I think there needs to be 2, 3, 4 different places that it can go. And they can all be sort of near the middle of the map so that you can get kind of middle map control and have a good opportunity to get to all of them. But right now, people camp because they know where the capture point is going to be. They know where to hold down and what the power position is. But if this capture point rotates and it moves, you can't just camp on the spot and wait for that to happen and get the win without killing anyone. People will rotate around the map and try to kill people. They'll actually try to slay people because it's most likely a lot less risky killing the other team than guessing where a capture point is going to be. Now, I know there can be an argument saying, well, if they rotate it, a team might just get an advantage right away because of where it lands up. You might be right on top of it and the other team has to push into you. Absolutely, I do understand that. That's why we need to, you'd have to do a lot of testing to see what is balanced and where they could be. Maybe 3 different locations very close to the center of the map. So kind of the center map is where the hotspot is and where you'd want to be optimally. Because then you're not going to have people camping at the back trying to get a pick. They're going to start to want to push into that central area. That's the hotspot. That's where all the capture points are going to be. So, if you're sitting at the back, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. The flow would change completely, in my opinion. And that's the thing, is this is my opinion, guys. I don't know. I can't test this myself. I have no idea if this would fix Trials of Osiris. But right now, it is not fun to play. It feels so boring. It is just a slugfest of, can I hardscope you better than you can hardscope me? And it just doesn't feel skillful anymore. It doesn't feel rewarding. I'm not having fun with it. And I'm curious what everyone else is thinking. What do you think is the most unbalanced thing in Trials right now? What do you want to see fixed more than anything? I'd love to hear it in the comments. I'd love to get some discussion going. And if you don't agree with me, speak up. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm an absolute idiot here and I just sound stupid with my suggestions. But at least I'm trying. At least I'm trying to get the discussion going. And probably, most likely, these changes wouldn't happen overnight, and probably anything I suggested would need some sort of alteration. But if a lot of you guys aren't noticing that this game mode has some very distinct flaws, I'm wondering, why is that? Why is there such a discrepancy between my opinion of Trials and your opinion? Or some other big streamer like a Real Crafty, why is my opinion different than his? Or are we on the same opinion and you guys are different? Or, it's very interesting to me what everyone thinks about Trials right now. Anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.